Thor! May your hammer be mighty. First, I shall start off my review with something everyone loves, nitpicking. Why is everything so dark nowadays? I mean, yeah, the stakes should be high. There should be peril. But we got the Dark Knight, and now Star Trek is into darkness. Coming next summer, Hulk, the dark and very dim universe. Seriously, someone turn on the light. I think the only superhero that should be dark is Darkman. Why? Because it's in his name. Anywho, this is the sequel to Thor, or the sequel to the Avengers, really. Just saying that if you've seen Thor but you haven't seen the Avengers, then don't tell anyone because they will throw rocks at you. Thor has returned to his home planet realm, sorry, not planet, realm, with his brother Loki, to Asgard to be locked away for his crimes against, well, a lot of people that died in the Avengers. But don't worry, Loki, you won't be locked away for too long because, well, those teenage girls love you too much. I mean, what would people make GIFs of if there wasn't a Loki around to make GIFs of? So it turns out there are these beings in another realm called the Dark Elves, and they have access to a powerful element called ether, but not that kind of ether. I wasn't aware there were two different kinds of ether. Originally in the Marvel universe, ether actually comes from... And then Natalie Portman discovers this element and it latches onto her, and the elves are after Natalie Portman. Because let's face it, we had to give Natalie Portman something to do in this movie. Now the leader of the Dark Elves is Malekith, played by Christopher Eccleston, who fellow nerds will know as the Doctor. Doctor Who. Yes. Now Christopher Eccleston is a great actor, and I was really pumped to see that he was going to be the main baddie in this movie. And they basically pull an Emperor Zod with him and just give him basically nothing interesting to do. What do we know about him? Well, he's a Dark Elf. And he's evil, and he wants to take over the world. Of course. It's just a shame that whoever wrote this is obviously more interested in giving other characters more depth and humor than the guy who is supposed to be the central villain of the movie. It's like they were thinking, yeah, we can't make a better bad guy than Loki, so we're not gonna try. But that's really my biggest complaint with the movie. I mean, Christopher Eccleston is a great actor, just give him some dialogue. Now, the Marvel movies are getting so frequent and fast now that they're actually starting to feel more like TV shows. I mean, I like TV shows, but the stakes that we're up against feel more like TV show stakes. And this plot kind of boils down to just kind of a villain of the week episode. Now, this movie may not blow people away or give us much in the way of newness, but I had a lot of fun. I mean, despite its flaws, there's always this sense of adventure and fantasy, and that's what I really liked about the first Thor movie. And I liked all the characters. Everyone in this is cast really well, except for Tuputu. And they really brought that over from the first movie, where I liked these characters, and just going along for the ride was a welcomed experience. Now, I know before I sounded a bit like a Loki hater. It's almost getting cool now to be like, yeah, Loki's cool and all, but psh, they're starting to wear him out. That's bullcrap. I mean, you are lying if you can't admit that he is one of the best things about the series. I mean, he's such a well-written and interesting character. And you can tell that Tom Hiddleston is just having the time of his life playing this role. Now, I noticed they kind of advertise this as a Thor and Loki team-up movie, and I'm just warning you, that really doesn't happen until about 2/3 of the way through the movie. I just don't want anyone going into this thinking that is the main focus here. But for me, when Thor and Loki do team up, that's when things become less formulaic and more interesting. If you're going into Thor 2 really pumped and hoping that things will get pushed to the next level, well, then you might be a little let down. I look at this movie as kind of like a TV episode in between the series opener and the series finale. I mean, it's not a bad movie. I left the movie theater feeling really good and just like I had a good time. It just feels a little too formulaic, and a lot of it feels like filler a lot of the time. But very fun filler. Very fun filler. Ultimately, I give it a B. It's a fun time at the movie theater, but it doesn't leave that much of an impression. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go read some Loki Doctor Who fan fiction that you are about to write, aren't you?